The localized economy, starving the globalist beast by feeding your neighbor. We live inside a machine. It's a machine of breathtaking scale and efficiency, designed for one purpose: to turn everything, our labor, our nature, even our attention, into profit for a vanishingly small few. We are told this is the global economy, the inevitable endpoint of human progress. But what if this is not progress, but a sophisticated form of servitude? Every single day, you and I participate in an economy that is designed to disempower us. We fund the very system that makes us feel small, helpless, and dependent. We buy our food from a monolithic chain that lobbies against labeling GMOs. We bank with institutions that bet against our mortgages. We purchase goods made by exploited hands on the other side of the world. All while a CEO boasts about efficiency on a quarterly earnings call. We are financing our own subjugation with every swipe of a card. But that same transaction, the simple act of exchange, could become the most potent form of direct action. The most revolutionary thing you can do is not storm the gates of power, but to simply turn around and walk toward your neighbor's house. This is the core of the localized economy, the deliberate, strategic act of starving the globalist beast, not with a shout, but with a satisfied stomach. To understand the cure, we must first understand the pathology of the globalized extractive economy. It's not merely big business. It is a specific predatory organism with a singular goal: the infinite maximization of shareholder value by systematically externalizing every possible cost. The players are familiar, but their roles in this context are key. There is the multinational corporation, that's the beast itself. Its loyalty is not to a nation or a community or even an ecosystem, but to the abstract god of the quarterly report. Then there's the supply chain, the beast circulatory system, designed not for resilience but for cost cutting. It stretches across oceans, exploiting the weakest labor and environmental laws it can find. The consumer, you and me, positioned at the end of the chain, we are not citizens here. We are endpoints, data points, targets for extraction. Let's trace the journey of a single product. Let's trace a t-shirt through this beast. The externalized labor cost. The cotton is grown in a region where water is diverted from local communities, creating a dust bowl. It's picked by underpaid workers exposed to toxic pesticides. The true cost, the ecological damage, the healthcare crisis, is borne by the local population, not the corporation. The externalized community cost. The cotton is shipped to a country with an authoritarian regime, where it is sewn into shirts in a factory with barred windows. The workers have no rights, no voice. The wages are so low they can never become customers themselves. The corporation pockets the difference, while the cost of this oppression, the social unrest, the human misery, is externalized. The final transaction? The shirt arrives at a mega store in your town. It costs $5.99. You buy it. The system seems efficient, but you just have unwittingly subsidized a water crisis, funded worker oppression, and hollowed out the local clothing shop that used to be owned by your neighbor. The $5.99 wasn't just a price. It was a vote for a world without community, without dignity or resilience. The globalist beast grows stronger, not because it is better, but because it has perfected the art of making everyone else pay its bills. Why do we continue to participate in an economy that so clearly devours us? We are held in place by powerful psychological traps. So why do we allow it? I can't stop asking this question. Why do we allow this to continue? This is the siren song of the beast. It's easier, it's cheaper. We are seduced by the immediate gratification of a 2-day delivery and a rock bottom price, willfully ignoring the hidden invoice. That invoice includes the death of Main Street, the loss of local knowledge, and the plastic garbage patch swirling in the ocean. We have been trained to be terrible accountants, looking only at the price tag and never at the life cycle cost. This cult teaches us that our time is too valuable to spend talking to a butcher, a baker, or a candlestick maker. It convinces us that efficiency for the corporation is the same value for us. It is a lie. Convenience is the candy coating on a pill of dependency. The beast has convinced us that it is necessary. Only we can feed the world. You can't possibly get that locally. It projects an image of inevitably and scale that makes our individual actions seem meaningless. We believe that challenging Amazon, Walmart, or Monsanto is like challenging the weather. It's just too big. What we fail to see is that this scale is an illusion built on a house of cards, on cheap oil, exploited labor, and our own continued consent. The moment a crisis hits, a pandemic, a trade war, a fuel shortage, the brittle global supply chain snaps and the shelves go empty. The beast cannot nurture, it can only extract. And when there's nothing left to extract, it moves on, leaving us with a hollowed out shell of what was once a resilient community. This is the most insidious complicity. We no longer know the people who make our things, grow our food, or repair our goods. The economy has become an anonymous, transactional void. This anonymity is the fertilizer of corruption. It's easy to ignore the environmental cost of a product when you've never seen the river it polluted. It's easy to dismiss poor working conditions when the worker is an abstract concept on the other side of the planet. The erosion is not a side effect, it is a primary goal. A connected community is a resilient one. It can solve its own problems. It can hold its own members accountable. It can tell a predatory corporation to get lost. A disconnected population of consumers, however, is isolated, powerless, and easy to control. We have traded the rich, complex relationships of community for the sterile, one-click convenience of the global marketplace, and in doing so, we have traded our sovereignty for a handful of cheap trinkets. The solution is not to reform the beast. It is to build a new, parallel economy that renders the beast irrelevant. This is the tangible work of reclaiming power. The personal litmus test for every purchase. Apply a ruthless filter to your economic activity. Before you buy anything, ask, does this transaction increase the power of a predatory, extractive entity, or does it strengthen my local community? This is not about perfection, it's about direction. It's about choosing the local brewery over the multinational conglomerate, the farmer's market over the mega mart, the local credit union over the too big to fail bank. Every dollar is a bullet. Stop shooting yourself in the foot. Now let's talk about the linguistic and relational shift we need to make. We need to stop thinking of ourselves as consumers. A consumer is a bottomless pit, a thing that devours. Start thinking of yourself as a community member. A member produces, contributes, and connects. Shift your language from what's the cheapest to who grows my food and who fixes my things. This reframes the economy not as a cold system of transactions, but as a web of human relationships. It moves the goal from lowest to greatest resilience. The structural solution. This is the macro level work. We must actively champion and build the infrastructure for a new economy. Local currencies and time banks. Systems that keep wealth circulating within the community, making it immune to the shocks of the national economy. Cooperatives, worker-owned and consumer-owned businesses that are accountable to people, not to distant shareholders. The grocery store you own can't decide to outsource your job. community-supported agriculture, or CSAs, a direct partnership between you and a farmer, sharing the risk and rewards of the harvest. This cuts out the entire predatory supply chain. Peaceful Abandonment in Action, Part 2. The local investment, the 10% pledge. This is the practical starting point. You don't need to go off-grid. You simply need to divert a fraction of your economic energy. Make a pledge to shift just 10% of your monthly spending from the globalist beast to your local community. That's 10% of your food budget, your entertainment budget, your banking. If you spend $500 a month on groceries, that's $50 directed to the farmer's market. This seems small, but it is revolutionary. Multiplied by thousands of people, this 10% is what builds robust local food systems, funds small business expansions, and creates real, non-outsourceable jobs. It is a blood clot in the artery of the beast. It is a peaceful, powerful, and personal secession. The globalist economy is a vampire. It can only survive if it is invited in. It feeds on our sense of helplessness, our addiction to convenience, and our forgotten connections to each other. The localized economy is the sunlight. It is not about deprivation, it's about profound enrichment of our community's wealth, our family security, and our own sense of agency. When we know the farmer who grows our food, we are no longer a consumer. We are a partner. When you bank with the local credit union, you are no longer a debtor. You are a shareholder in your town's future. This is how we starve the beast, not with violent revolution, but by simply turning away from its empty promises and turning towards the abundant, resilient world that we can build right now with our own hands and our own neighbors.